Good afternoon and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this afternoon. Celtic are at the ground, as you would expect. The team news. Let me just do this. There we go. Celtic are at Partick Thistle away. It's always a cracking away day for Partick Thistle. Nice few pubs round about. Hopefully all the lads got a nice wee swally before the game today. We are sitting waiting on Celtic putting the team out. Skies look nice and clear. Nice blue cloud, blue sky, bit of cloud. Looks a cracking pitch. Looks like it could be a good game of football. Cracking game of football. And it doesn't get dark till later on, so even better. Fir Hill is always a fantastic place to go for the support. Big support following Celtic today. And 15 minutes or so till the team goes out. Celtic news kicking about this afternoon. Celtic Trust slam Peter Lawwell with an important message sent to Dermot Desmond. Let's not talk about division this early on. We'll see what the protests are today from those at the game. Let's keep it as positive as we can. The semi-final draw is after the game today also, so make sure that you tune in for that. I have set the live up for that to go live straight after the game. Let's just hope that we make it through. Could you just imagine the unthinkable? Celtic were at Partick Thistle the last time, I think it was about 2017. And they played, that was a daytime game as well, if I remember. My mind's... But anyway, I'm sure there was a big display that day. When we did one of the last times. But anyway, it is all about what Celtic can do today. The draw will be on the telly right after the game. And let's just hope we make it. 90 minutes of football can decide whether Celtic are going to be on the road to Hampden. And we usually do it, don't we? We've got quite a good record. Let's be fair. We do have quite a good record when it comes to getting to Hampden under the team's out in around about 12 minutes. Around about 12 minutes the team is out. It's on Premier Sports, Jake. The game is on Premier Sports. I will be doing a watch along also, so you can sit and watch it and we can have a chat on here. At the same time, the way it's been going, the unthinkable could happen. Oh, Matthew, the negativity. Alistair, how are you? The negativity, we can't have any of that today. It has to be a win. 4-1 Celtic. Celtic haven't been conceding goals in the Premier League. They haven't been conceding goals. Dougie reckons that'll be Celtic, Motherwell, St Mirren versus Sevco in the next round of the... I'm going to have to move this because the scoreline, but then again I can just take away the scoreline just now. It should be a good game. Get the fringe players up. Yeah, I think so. Hope so. You want a lot of the players that are not getting a regular start to try and get some game time today, so that you can rest some of the more important players for the game in midweek. Hope you get Sevco in the semi. I'd like to get them in the semi, just to put them out early. I'd like to get them in the semi. I don't want it to go to the final. I mean, I think that we were lucky in the final last year. I want to get them now, because if we wait to the final, they might have come on to a game a bit by then. They could. I think they would definitely have come on to a bit of a game the time you get to December. The final's in December, isn't it? No, let's try and get them as early as we can and put them out. I'd get them in the semi would be absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to see Tenecti again today. And we looks a baller. He does, and will he start or not is the big thing. Brendan Rodgers may not start. I'd start him. I'd start him. He definitely looks a bit of a player. Danny says that he's going to go for a 3-1 scoreline. Why do you always think that the smaller teams are going to be the one that will break the duck against Celtic? Our defence has been not too bad, and the keepers have been not too bad. And I like Sinisalo as a keeper. I think I hope he plays today. I hope he does start, because he just gives us something completely different out for the back, and I think that'll be needed in a game like this. I think you want, when the keeper does get the ball, and there'll be occasions where our keeper will get the ball, but I want it out quick and hit this lot on the attack. I was hoping Hibs would put them out yesterday. Yeah, Hibs did, didn't they? I'm not too sure about the handball decision that went against Hibs, but it's what it is. At Ibrox, what did you expect? Anything less? 5-0. If St Mirren gets Sevco, then they won't be in the final bars. It'll be 5 all the hoops on the day. 3-0 says Gary Dunn. Both Michelle's in the house. Wilson QW says 5-0. Tartan Tinny Paint goes for 3-0. 3-0. Ships Cat says 3-0 for the tick the day, folks. He reckons. If you are into a bit of betting, make sure that you click the first link that's in the video, where you can get. It shows you how to get free bets. Kilmarnock scored from a corner versus us. Seems like we aren't great with set pieces. Celtic will surely be on top form by the semi. Here's hope so. I think we'll be on top form today, to be honest. Michelle's going for 3-1 as well. Jesus. We've had a good... I just don't see it. I don't see them scoring. An early goal, half-time goal, and want to see them off before the 90 minutes. 3-1 says Chris D. Also, interesting score lines going about. Let me get back on here. Celtic head to Firhill today. Around about 6 minutes before the team goes out. Don't know when they took that, but they took one picture early on. It's clear blue. That's an AI picture. Why does Celtic do that? That's AI, isn't it? Yep. Looks very AI-ish. It's definitely AI. Definitely. And then they've got the real picture. The Partick Thistle flag is a tidy wee ground. But it's one of those grounds in Scottish football that hasn't changed for a very, 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 very long time. It is something that is sad about Scottish football. Is it's kind of stuck in an era. It's stuck in an era of building 4 individual stands. And you know, you think that when we came away from the old terracing throughout Scottish football, you would think that clubs would trying to get into a bit of a role with stability and creating cash and bringing things in, bringing money into their clubs. But it's stuck in a bygone era, isn't it? With these old stadiums. I think I'm going to start going around football stadiums round about here in the different leagues to show the different, not on this channel obviously, on another channel, but I think I'm going to start doing that just to see the comparison to stadiums down the leagues within foreign countries, because I think it could be a good little project to embark on. 3-0 says Jamesy boy. Michelle is rough. Jamesy boy is going for 3-0. Can't done one as well. Another penalty. After the result of the qualifier, we shouldn't be taking any team left. Yeah, and man, Chris, if you'd watched, I don't want to go back over time, but if anybody had watched the Cara Almaty game against a team that should have beat them, they played the exact same way. Celtic knew what to expect. Celtic never invested to get the players in to beat them. People will say, but we should have beat them with the players we had. Listen, David Strelick couldn't get a single shot Now, there was somebody on the channel says, oh, we should have went for Strelic. He scored the other day. He was absolutely woeful against Cara Almaty, because I watched both the games, and David Strelic was terrible against them. So, you know, they played their way and they got into it. There's no money in Scottish football, Baz, for clubs to upgrade stadiums. Right. Somebody says on the channel this morning, Scottish football's the highest fucking supported game in fucking Europe by per capita. I don't care. Look at the stadiums. Do you know? Look at stadiums around Europe that are 10 to 15 to 18,000 seaters that have been built in the last 10 years. Scottish football has been nobody's touched a stadium since the 1990s. Do you know? And for the fact that there's no money, it's people that own the clubs, businessmen that should, do you know. But people can't shout on one hand, Scottish League's the best supported league in Europe, and then you look at the shitey stadiums on the other hand. You know, it's all about perspective, isn't it? 3-0 the Hoop, says Kevin. We are just waiting. 3 minutes until Celtic put the team out. Fantastic looking pitch at Firhill. That's a cracking looking pitch. Some good football. I mean, how come you can get Firhill with an all grass pitch, and then you've got Livingston and Kilmarnock, who have supposedly got more money, but they can't have grass pitches. Do you know, there's some fantastic pitches down the leagues, and then you look at Kilmarnock, and that's just a cop-out. Kilmarnock have got way more money than the majority of clubs down in the leagues below us, but they opt for the easy option. They opt for the cheap option to then bring in mediocre players. That's what I think. Mikey Johnson, why is he coming up on my timeline? 2 minutes to go until the team comes out. Scottish football isn't as physical as we like to think. That Lazio Roma game earlier, it was almost throwback to pre-VAR times. Says Chris. Michelle Shaw says, just win Celtic, please. As long as we get a good performance by everyone. The manager, the keeper. It is all about perspective. I'm on the tick, Mick. It is. You just want the best for the game. You know, and I can always remind going away to Malmo with Celtic. Was that 2016 or something? And that was a cracking. I'm still traumatised by the 1971 Cup final. Jesus. Yeah, we went to Malmo back in 2016. That was a cracking stadium. That was an absolute cracker, and it's not a big stadium, but it has everything that a modern stadium should have. It has good facilities for corporate. It has a one-tier stand right round, but it's a nice looking stadium. You know, it's got a nice footprint. People in Scotland, they built this 4 different stands and called it a stadium, and they never moved forward. They just went for the cheap option. But it's the best supported league in Europe. It's all that matters. 1 minute to go. 1 minute and counting. Many have failed to do it. Firhill is spotless. It is. It's a cracking stadium. Always has been. Firhill has always been a crack. And it's just a shame that they're not up in the league. Michelle says Sinisalo needs to start. Park looks amazing. It does that. Frey Grass should be banned from football. Yeah, it should. Jim Finley's going for 5-0 Celtic. As talking about Celtic, they should be putting the team out now. And interesting team. Sinisalo, Donovan, Carter Vickers, Scales, Tierney, McGregor, Hatate, Benji, Yang, Tenekti, and In actual, wow, that's some team. It's not the team I was expecting, but we'll get it up on the screen. We'll scream when you see it. That is the team there. Just make it full size for everyone to see. So there's the team. Sinisalo does get a start, thank goodness. Young Donovan gets a start. Carter Vickers starts. Scale starts. Tierney starts. McGregor. I think playing Tierney is just to get him up to speed. Build his fitness up for the European game. That's the only reason that I could think that Tierney would be starting this game, is to give him some much needed fitness game time. That's all I'm saying. The midfield, McGregor, you expected him to start. I didn't really expect Hatate to start, or Benji. I mean, what must Bernardo be thinking? It's a cup game. But then again, Brendan will be thinking, I need us to win. Do you know, I need us to win, so I need that solid midfield. Yang out in the wing. If Yang can't play against this lot, Jesus God, I'm going to give Yang 45 minutes, and if he doesn't do it, question, says Irishman, and Porto. As if many want we switch to the 3-5-2, where would the wingers such as Tenecti and Bawisha and Jota fit in? I was filming for a Rio and Porto match on Friday. They have only one stand. And there you go. One stand in Portuguese football. Unbelievable, isn't it? I bet you've been in some stadiums. I'd say if I was you, I'd have the best Instagram of all the different stadiums that you've been at. Filming for football. I would just, it was like an encyclopedia of football stadiums, mate. But anyway, when you look at up front, it's an interesting one on the bench also, because when you look at the bench, you've got Schmeichel, you've got Bawiska, you've got McCowan, you've got Engels, Bernardo, you've got Marcelo, you've got Dyson, you've got Dane Murray and James Forrest. What's missing from that? A striker. They've got down Dyson Maeda as a striker. So what does that say to Shin Yamada? What does it say to Johnny Kenny? And what does it say to Callum Osmond, who cannot get in the team because Brendan Rodgers will only play with the one striker on the bench? Now, who do you drop off? You can't drop off Forrest because he's a winger. Dyson can play as a winger as well in case we have a mishap. You've then got a fullback, and then you've got four in the midfield. You've got two wingers. You've got Bawiska, but then you've got three midfielders. So who do you drop off to bring in Shin Yamada? Who do you drop off to bring in Johnny Kenny? I feel sorry for Johnny Kenny because he was kind of hoping to go out on loan to further his career, and now he's stuck on the sidelines at Celtic, not progressing at all. And this is all due to the fault of the board. This, you know, this is the situation that the board has got us into. So, I mean, it is an interesting one. Grass grows greener and better in Glasgow. Don't forget the lottery winner gave Thistle £4 million. When was that? Was that no ages ago? Oh, Inamura gets a good gets a start, good range of passing. Inamura's not getting anywhere near this team. Nowhere near it. Inamura should have been put out on loan as well. Brendan Rodgers, please change our midfield. Yeah. Thistle are doing well in the Championship as it won't be a walk in the park. No, it won't be that. Keep your money in your purse. The schedule we have back in training about November. Rodgers are obviously not playing the club signings. Is Shin Yamada one of those club signings? I mean, Johnny Kenny is not one of the club signings because he was brought in ages ago. But Brendan Rodgers, if you think back towards the end of last season, Brendan Rodgers did say that they were unsure about what to do with Johnny Kenny, whether to keep him here and try and get him some game time or put him out on loan. And then he hit some fantastic form. I mean, his form during pre-season was better than Adam Ida's. Adam Ida got sold. Johnny Kenny would be thinking, good chance for me getting some game time. But Brendan Rodgers now has to keep Dyson Maeda happy. And Dyson Maeda has been told, will have been told that, you're one of our star players. Will we ever see Bernardo again? Feel for him, says Stuart Ramsey. It's a funny one because I thought that this would have been one of the days where Paulo Bernardo start. For Brendan to go, maybe three of the players to come off in the second half will be Hatate, Benji and Callum McGregor. You've got Yang to come off as well. There's no way. No, if Yang sees 90 minutes out of this game, Dave Scott, how is the mosquito? That's fine. I've got this cream that you put on it and it disappears. The bite goes away. So yeah, it's quite good. Thank you for asking. We don't know our intel on Partick affected Brendan Rodgers' choice today. Maybe. Brendan Rodgers ain't playing Shin Yamada because he doesn't like my song. How rude. Says Michelle. It is an interesting lineup. For me, this is the one game that Brendan Rodgers goes, right, Yang, go and prove your worth. And if you can't prove your worth against this lot, I mean, he was woeful when he came on against the Almaty team. He was absolutely woeful. And I'll never forget that pass where he passed it forward to himself. He passed it up the wing to nobody. Just to nobody. There was nobody there. And you're thinking, are you seeing ghosts? Yang for a hat-trick. Oh my God. Remember the last time that happened? It was Lewis Palmer. Lewis Palmer then took to Instagram. Woo! He's three. Louis Palmer scored a hat-trick against an Irish team, remember, in a friendly, and then was sent back in. He wouldn't get a game. He wouldn't get a game since. Maybe it's Yang's Yang. He's woeful. Let's not joke about it. He's terrible. And anybody that says any different, do you know? Anybody that says any different is just it's all about opinions. That's all I'm going to say. Fir Hill, you go to Fir Park, you'll be on your own, mate. It's Fir Hill, innit? Jesus. Anyone annoyed that Engels doesn't get a chance? It's not like the other centre midfielders. I honestly thought if Thistle going to do a Scottish Almaty, nah. Not a chance. Not a chance. Did they try and play for penalties? Listen, Kasper Schmeichel isn't playing today, and Sinisalo is a fantastic keeper, and I'm looking forward. Watch out for the way that Sinisalo gives this is a big game for Sinisalo. Watch the way that he is quicker than Kasper Schmeichel. Watch the way that his distribution. Watch the way that he doesn't like putting the ball out to the two defenders at the back, because he knows that if he puts the ball out to them, Kasper Schmeichel does it so many times and it puts Celtic back under pressure. The young Sinisalo doesn't do that. He doesn't like putting himself under pressure. Michelle thinks Yang's fantastic. If you think Yang's good, go to Specsavers. Yang needs a week's leave. If Yang scores a hat-trick, it'll be 3 deflections off him. It'll be pass backs from the Mind you, he has scored a goal. Can't believe Engels and Bernardo aren't playing. Yeah, let's get serious. What's Brendan Rodgers thinking about? Not resting Rio Hatate. Let's face it, Rio Hatate, if he doesn't shine in a game like this, do you know what it means? That he's in one of these moods, and I hate to say it, that when he does the whole head down thing, walking about the park, that annoys the living daylights out of me, because he's not watching what's going. He spends around about between 5 and 10 seconds with his head down walking up the pitch, and that's not good for a football player, because you're not 100% switched on what's happening on the pitch. You know what areas to try and run into and get the ball back. And for me, that's the downside of Rio Hatate's game. Sinisalo commands his 18 box with ease. He does that, mate. He does. He reminds me of a younger version of the holy goalie. I think that he could become that good. I think he could become our next holy goalie. And when he gets into the Celtic team next season, he will be the number one keeper for years to come. I think that we're going to get a fantastic run with him as keeper, and it will take a big offer for him to leave Celtic. Sing along reads better. Sing along reads the game better. Yang's terms and Tesco are very little helps. If Yang scores, Sevco support. When are they not having their bus tour after their win yesterday? Are they celebrating like it was win? Mark Wilson will take Yang playing as a piss take. Yeah, he would, wouldn't he? Surely you'll. Baz, just back from Loch Lomond swimming lessons, cost me $16.90. John Shirley's now taking up swimming lessons at Loch Lomond, and it cost him $16.90. Right, now that we've seen the team out, give me your score predictions. Inaecho, Tanexti, two fantastic players. Yang, the question marks all over Yang. Benji Hatate coming in late into the box. McGregor with a shot from outside the box. Tierney, he's got some fantastic delivery with Tierney. It'll be interesting to see how he fares today. And young Donovan as well. Donovan's starting to ease into the game a bit. When it was the game the other week, he was kind of the one that was getting to the byline and getting crosses in. So Donovan could be one to watch today as well. With seeing the teams out now, I am going to go with a scoreline of Thistle 0, Celtic 3. There's a 9. This not a chance. Govan being Liverpool number 2 after being sacked. This is funny. Forrest, Murray, Bernardo, Bawiska, Scratchy on the bench. Yep. They are all on the bench. I'll just take that away so you do see the bench. I mean, it's a fantastic bench. If things aren't going to plan for Celtic, if things aren't going to plan, you've always got James Forrest to come on. Do you know, you've got Dyson Maeda to come on. There's goals, and that's what's good about the bench. You know, Bernardo's due a goal when he gets some game time. Arne Engels, you know, he's got goals in him. So Luke McCowan, he can score goals. So there's plenty on the bench for this team if it's not going to plan. But we do need a fantastic performance today. And by a good performance, I mean one-touch passing stuff. I mean the Liam Scales coming out and taking 3, 4, 5 touches and then looking about and seeing Tierney and going, nah, I'm not passing to Tierney. What the hell is that all about? James McGarry's going for 2-0. James Gunn's going for 4-0. Lucky 15 Voodoo's going for 6-0. Premier Sports is Pish. Guys, we'll get up to subscribe then, John. Guys, get subscribed to the channel. I'm going to say, Big Casper's not playing, but 3-1 says, is it on the telly? Yes, it is on the telly, but we are doing a watch along also. Early goal put them under pressure. I don't think that any time that we've been to Partick Thistle, even when we have put them, they're an attacking team. And I'm hope that Mark Wilson hasn't become one of these modern managers that goes playing a back six. We're going to play the low block and suck Celtic in, soak up the pressure. That was never Partick Thistle way of playing. And I hope that Mark Wilson hasn't or doesn't install that today, because if he does, he can shut up talking about Celtic when he does, because it's total anti-football and we need to start calling it out. Let's see scales bashing begin. Let's see the scales bashing begin. It's not a case he slows the game down. People talk about Callum McGregor slowing the game down. Scales slows the game down. When he takes, I want the whole team, and it's not a scales bashing. This is talking to the whole team. This is getting everyone to take one touch pass, fast movement. Players moving in positions. None of this staticness that we've seen before. It's like move the ball, you move. You move. You take your one touch pass and then you move. You make space for yourself. Every player has to do that. Every player. Sky Bet says that Yank to score 3 goals is 10-1. Oh my god. Utter madness. Utter madness. But if you are into a little bit of a bet, let me just, where is it? There, it's there. You can profit with match betting once you get it. And if you do like putting a bet on, let me just get the, where's the screen? No, it's not that one. There we go. Get this up. If you do like, I'll just put it full screen just to show you what it is. If you do like a bit of a bet, since Sky Bet says Yang to score 3-0 with match betting, you can place a bet, and it's all about trying to get. They show you how to get free bets, and you place a bet. The objective is to make money through betting. Find a bookmaker that offers a free bet, say a £5 or £20 bet. Sign up to the bookmaker and place the bet with, say, Celtic to win against Partick Thistle today, and then you sign up to another one offering a free bet, and then you put Partick Thistle to win against Celtic, and you put the bets, anyway, you would just bet on Celtic to win today and you get your free money. And that's how match betting works. If you're interested in it, click the first link that is in the, in fact, I'll just put it in here as well. There we go. Match betting. Easy. And that's how it works. Right, that's enough of that. Back to the team. I demand a recount. I'll put a penny on it. Young's bird must be back. Yeah, it must be. But as please watch tonight on the wing, I think that he's been worth watching. Yeah, I think he's good. Yeah, John, I think he's a fantastic player to watch on the wing. Also, I think that he's a player that is going to slip right in. Once we get all the players back, once we get Kieran Tierney up to full speed, once we get Jota back, I think having both those on the wing and Dyson Maeda through the middle, we're going to have one of the most potent attacks in football, and it could come good just for the tail end of the league phase if Jota can come back early, and especially if he just picks up where he left off. Scales has a head like a sheriff's badge. Lanky's going for 5-1 Celtic. Don't know why Benji keeps getting picked. McGowan and Bernardo are better. It's all about the way that they set up. Try to sit with the two in the midfield. I can understand why Brendan Rodgers does it, but Until January, you mean, Baz? Until January? Well, I'm going to say he's jot us out until January, but if he can come back a little bit earlier so we can get him in for the last remaining games of the league phase, it would be good. It would be good. Let me just see what the Celtic headlines are saying about the good. Inaecho and Yang start for Celtic. Sinisalo, Inaecho start. Rodgers makes a major surprise. Is it a major surprise that Yang starts? Not really, because another player there was a chance of picking him up an injury. Let me read this story about the Celtic Trust. Since the Celtic Trust are one of the major groups within the new Celtic collective. The Celtic Trust have come out and said after the accounts were released, Peter Lawwell's gaslighting of fans in relation to Celtic's 24-25 financial accounts indicates the level of contempt for fans and how out of touch the board and the current custodians are with sources of their revenue. It is important that the custodians of Celtic Football Club, including Dermot Desmond and the executives and the non-executives of the board of directors, understand that Celtic fans have more than the single objective of maximising short-term profits. And this all goes with the Celtic fan collective doing a demonstration today. After what is actually said in the statement, it's not hard to see why Lawwell and the board shares the ambition of our supporters, the strongest possible team on the pitch, against short-term, long-term financial stability. Do you know my only worry about this? I mean, we need to talk about the fan situation, because let's face it, there is going to be the accounts have been released, Brian, released on Friday night. When you look at what is going on today, there is a concern for me that there will start to become a division between fans that go to games and fans that go to away games to fans that go to just Celtic Park only. And you'll start to see a bit more of that division. I hope it doesn't happen, but I know how these things work out, and I know how, history tells us that my Hesgo still works, if you want that. 24 million to the tax man, Yang on the wing. The joke. Yeah. To be fair, Yang was gone. He was out the door. He was sold. But it's the fault of Michael Nicholson for not picking up the phone and answering the phone to Birmingham. And Birmingham just went, fuck this. If he's not going to answer the phone, fuck him, send him back. There's not enough time to get the deal done. Bernardo should be looking for a transfer? No, he shouldn't. I think that he ultimately could be the long-term replacement for Callum McGregor. I don't think he's as good, but Steve Gordon says, very, very poor team selection. Do you think so, Stephen? Tell us why in the comments. Follow up telling us why you think it's a poor team selection. I like to know these things. We need to show true professionalism in the game today. I wish I could say it even. There will come a time soon when Celtic will not have one homegrown player. Modern to look outside football for talent. It will change. Sold at a profit for 3 million. Yeah, he was sold. Brian, go onto the Celtic website. And you can see the accounts. Celtic put the accounts out at about 6 o'clock or something on Friday night. The board have not have no fucking clue about what they're doing, says Monty. Yeah. Some people will say otherwise. It's time Rodgers stepped up, and never mind the board. Yeah, it is. It's time that Rodgers totally stepped up and stopped hiding behind the thing. He's under 21 captain for Portugal. They have massive names. He's amazing. Yeah. Bernardo's been the difference in the game for us. I can't remember one. Robert, go back to the Scottish Cup final where Adam Ida scored the winner. Who set up Adam Ida? Who made all the difference in the second half when they came on? Who grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck? People have got awfully short memories. Go back and watch that cup final because Paulo Bernardo ran the show. Paulo Bernardo went past 3 players, took a shot. The keeper then saves it, pounces it out, and Adam Ida steps in to get the rebound. That was all Paulo Bernardo's doing. Paulo Bernardo changed the game that day. So there you go. There's one big game. And then we went out and we paid money for him. Ernest Pants. Nicholson saving up for Turkey here. This is true. Anyone any decent streams? Total incompetence by Nicholson. Yeah. He needs to get the finger out and start performing today. He does. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse why risk Hatate and McGregor injuries from this game. Says John. Yeah, I get that, but the manager will want to try and get as many goals in and put pressure on this team in the first half so that he then can change the team at half time. That would probably be what Brendan has said. He said, look, I want you to win the game in the first half. I want you to be you get 2-3-0 up at half time, and then any, meeny, miny, mo, you can all come off at half time and we change the team at half time. I think that's what Brendan Rodgers will be doing, because if he doesn't play his strongest team right at the beginning of the game, and Partick Thistle start to get into the game, they start to realise that Celtic can't get past a low block 7 in defence. And then you've then got to bring the players on, and that puts added pressure on for the players to perform to the higher level. And then there's a greater risk at that point. So there's 2 sides to the argument, and I can see why. There's a bigger risk of a player coming on in the second half and overexerting himself and getting injured in that last 15-20 minute period because he's not had the right warm up. He's not went through the warm up of the game. He's just been warming up on the side of the pitch. So you can understand from the manager's point of view why he's made the decision. Is it the right one? I think that I said during the week, I thought that Bernardo should have started, Benji should have started, and old Ginger should have started. What's his name? Right out my head. He's on the bench. McCowan. Brain fog moment there. I agree it's an awful selection. Benji, Hatate, both awful. Hatate should have been dropped weeks ago. Yang dreadful. McGregor needs a few games rest. Oh, the negativity. It's gone through the roof. It's gone through the roof. The roof is on fire with negativity here. For 3 up by half time, get Dane Murray on. Yep, exactly. Rio's always chasing the fire exit nowadays. Ooh. Boom. Why play Yang then, Baz? Because with no one else, Eddie. It's sad. It's woeful. Yang's now in the position. He now finds himself in the position that Greg Taylor found himself in last season, where nobody been good enough. Wilson's a traitor, played for United in the Masters. Now he's hiring Huns. Mark Wilson was never a Celtic player and should never have been a Celtic player. Fannies are hurting, Baz. Scarachi's a new star. After seeing this team, my nerves are kicking in. Ooh, Michelle's nerves. Right, pub to fix this hangover. Got issues, Michelle. But as Mark Wilson knows the score, for God's sake. He played for Celtic. He was shite. Mark Wilson was woeful for Celtic. He should never have been at Celtic. Almost, oh God, there's the first one. Almost 40 million of talent on that bench, man. It talks about Sterling coming to supporters. Is this talk about Sterling coming to supporters, coming to Celtic, complete rubbish? I don't think so. I think that there's, I spoke about it this morning. I think that there could be something in the next window where Celtic will be listen, it was one bottle. It had to be finished. That's all I'm saying. It was one bottle and it had to be finished. I think that the board might be a bit over exuberant, to coin a term from a great Hibs win at Hampden. I think that the board will go out and get Brendan Rodgers a couple of big signings to finish off the campaign. A lot of people have got the a pound sterling maybe. A lot of people are of the theory that Brendan Rodgers will not get a lot of cash to spend because he might be walking away at the end of the transfer window. If that happens and the team doesn't get improved, if we go into the second half of the season with this team, we're not winning a treble, and we're definitely not getting far in a European context. Not a chance. Mark Wilson scored against Sevco. That'll do me. If the recruitment team are looking and hear this, we need quality, a quality right winger. Yeah, fannies. I don't think the recruitment team will be watching this because the recruitment team don't even watch anything. I don't even think the recruitment team watches YouTube videos of certain players that we bring into the club. I mean, who scouted Yang? I'd love to see the video content that they had on Yang and the data, because they like to go on data. I would really love to see the data they had on Yang. They must have got data on Yang after he'd spent a week with his missus. But then again, if he's back home and he's getting his Nat King a lot, you never know. Michelle's to get a rolling sausage and a can of iron brew. Line your stomach first. A lot of these wingers are right-footed, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Celtic... Oh, I've got to get that one up. Right, who do you think will be man of the match today? Tell me in the comment section. I think that Inaecho could be man of the match for Celtic. I wonder what data they had on Bawishka. They've been chasing him for years. So I don't know. A pint of milk. Oh, I gotta love the conversation in the chat. Right, tell me what Yang. Come on, Yang. Tenecte's a good shout. I think he might get man of the match today. If Yang gets man of the match, you'll all be of him getting drunk tonight. Sinisalo man of the match. Nah. Yang was scouted by the same drone, the Thunderbirds. Where is that? We blew him. Oh, don't say that. Tenecte, McGregor 6-1. Tenecte man of the match. Yep. We are a socialist club. That's why we've got so many left wingers. Hey, brim dim. Can't have too many right wingers, can we? Fair play, mate. That is a cracker. Yang puts me in mind of Trigger, Winnie the Pooh. 4-0 or 4-1 Celtic. Kalmak to be man of the match. Rio man of the match. Benji man of the match. 4-0 and an actual double. I wonder if Tenecte will score. I wonder if Tenecte will score today. Anyway, what time is it? It says 30. Bernardo deserves a run out tonight to man of the match. I hope that, seriously looking at changes that we're going to make, I think Brendan will change Inaecho for Dyson. He'll change Yang, which then gives him, another 3 substitutes to make. If he takes off Hatate and Benji, he surely has to bring on... He's not going to bring on Bernardo, because Bernardo comes on for Callum McGregor. And I think that this is the problem that we've got right now. And I think that Celtic know this. And Celtic are just keeping Bernardo working away. And Brendan Rodgers is telling him, look, you're our replacement for Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor's not going to be here forever. Do you know, there'll come a time where we'll start taking off Callum McGregor towards the end of the season and reintroducing Bernardo. That's my thinking of it. You can't think of any... He's not going to put him in Bernardo for Benji. He's not going to put him in for Hatate. You're going to use Arne Engels and Luke McCowan for that. So unless Callum's having one of those games and he takes off him, I just didn't see it. Ian Nacho. Get out the nachos. Scales man of the match? Could do. Yang is 65 to score with the bookies. My God. Seriously? Oh, Sibo for first goal. Yeah. Interesting one. Right. I'm just going to make sure that the watch along is all set up and live and ready to go, because I'm going to grab some food before the game does start. Channel lives watch along. There's one person waiting already. I'm going to grab some food. I think I've went to your other channel. Nope, you've not. You've just went to the other video, not the other channel. Anyway, make sure that you jump on to this video for the watch along. I'm going to spam on comment section just to make sure that you all get the hint. I'm going to go and grab some paella before the game starts. So I'll see you in around about 25 minutes. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world.